This conference will now be recorded.
Before I start, I wanted to check with all of you. Is everyone is able to install Ansible, and is everyone able to make SSH connectivity with your host machines? Okay, good. So Shravan is asking, sir, can you recall the steps in 3 ways to connect Ansible and host? What are the 3 ways? Right? I already explained in yesterday's session, right? And last class also. You tell me. One is username and password. Another one is username and PEM file. Next one, username and SSH keys. Right? Those are the 3 ways which we can do using Ansible. Now we have already any one of the way you can use. Now I already have an Ansible server. Let me connect to this Ansible server. Which one used in companies? That depends on your convenient and best practices, right? You can use username and a PEM file, but make sure your PEM file is maintained secretly, confidentially in Ansible server or any other secret manager. Because when you go for a cloud-based infrastructure, you will not have passwords by default, right? You will only have a PEM files. So you can use the username and PEM file, whatever comes by default, and make sure you are maintaining that PEM file securely in your Ansible server or somewhere else, securely. Otherwise, you have already usernames and passwords existed in the system. You use that username and password and make sure that password is also maintained confidentially in Ansible or in the code using some secrets concept. Or you don't want to take that, then you can go for it. This passwordless SSH keys. We can use any of the approach, but make sure you are following security, which means don't expose your PEM file to everyone, either in a version control system or either in a server. Also, don't open it for public. Maintain it securely if you are using PEM file or you are using secrets, right? Or you can use the SSH keys, the passwordless. Now let me switch to the Ansible user. First, in this machine, we have a host inventory. I have defined some host details. How many servers are defined as part of this host inventory? We have a 3 servers. Okay. Now I have not mentioned any username and password for this server because yesterday did I created an Ansible user and did I copied SSH keys of my Ansible machine to these 2 servers? So it is using that Ansible user. This server doesn't have an Ansible user. So for this server, I'm explicitly saying connect to this server as a Ubuntu user with this file, PEM file. Now I'm able to SSH -m ping, right? I'm able to SSH to all those 3 servers. Now, whenever I add any new machine, host machine, is it asking me to do that host key verification? Whenever I'm adding any new machine for the first time, right? For the first time, it is asking me do the host verification. Suppose I'm doing some kind of automation. I don't want that prompt. I don't want that prompt. If I'm manually executing commands, if I'm manually executing a playbooks, then I can say yes. But I don't want that prompt when I'm running these Ansible commands or playbooks via scripts. some kind of automation. Then how can I disable that host key verification? So there is a file, ansible.cfg file, kind of a settings file for Ansible. Ansible.cfg file, kind of a settings file for Ansible. So in that file, I can update the settings. So where is that file? The default location. The default location of that file is also, that settings file is also in this folder only, etc Ansible. So you have a hosts file, host inventory. We have a ansible.cfg. This is settings file. So here I can update the settings. So etc Ansible, ansible.cfg. I'm trying to update. This is like a default settings. Everything is commented. It's a huge file. Here, let me search with this host key checking. It is commented and value is false. It is commented. So if I uncomment, is it going to do that host key verification whenever any new server is added to your host inventory? If I uncomment this one, no. So what is the line number? If you don't know how to search, it is in the line number 71. So what I am trying to do, I am uncommenting this host key checking false. Now for the first time also, whenever any new machine is added to the inventory, any new machine is coming as part of inventory, is it going to ask that, are you sure you want to connect that host key verification now? If I add any new server also, it will not ask, right? Because I have disabled the host key verification. So that is what I have done in the settings file, kind of a CFG configuration, ansible.cfg file. Now if I add any new machine also to the inventory, it should not prompt. So let me show that. Now I am adding already this server is added, I think 133. Is being added. So let me add another server, this one. Let me add this one. So I'm adding like this. I'm just adding username, sorry, IP address, but will it able to SSH to this server? Because this server doesn't have Ansible user. This server doesn't have its, its SSH keys. It cannot SSH, right? If let me give this also. The default username. This is also Ubuntu server. Default username Ubuntu. Same PEM file. Now, if you see, when I am testing the connectivity, is it prompting? Are you sure you want to connect for that new server which I have recently added? No. This way you can disable the host key verification, okay, in the ansible.cfg. Now, yesterday we were discussing about some commands, ad hoc commands, right? This is one command. Similarly, we have a module called shell module, command module, -m module, -a arguments. So here, group name or host name, right? This is the syntax of commands, right? Now, when I say something like this, all shell module, command module, using command module, will I able to execute commands? Any commands, whatever commands I want to execute, I can execute, unless until there is a special character, I mean to say operators or variables in the command, right? So these commands will be executed in all the machines. All in the sense whatever is part of my inventory. How many servers is part of my inventory as of now? 4 servers. Now, is this command is getting executed in all 4 servers now? This df-kh, whatever command, right? If you see these commands, we can execute. Now, I don't want to execute in all the servers. I want to categorize the servers. I have a Tomcat servers, I have a database servers, I have a Docker servers. I have different categories. Will I able to group the servers in host inventory? Mohan is asking what is this df-kh? What is this df-kh? Guys, this is Ansible. Almost 2 months is over. What you guys are doing? You don't know the basic commands of Linux. It is going to show the disk file system display. How many disks is attached for that server and how much is utilized, how much is available. This is already discussed in Linux, if I am not wrong, almost 2 months back. So this all, I don't want to execute some commands or some playbooks in all the servers. I have a different type of servers like database servers, Tomcat servers, Docker servers. Is it possible for me to group those servers in the inventory? In the host inventory, we can list the servers and we can group the servers. What is the meaning of grouping? Like specific category, we can categorize the servers, right? Does Ansible knows anything about for what purpose we are using those servers? If I just give like this, does Ansible knows anything for what purpose we are using for those servers? If I just give like this, Ansible doesn't know this is for what purpose, this is for what purpose, right? We can group these servers. We can group these servers. And I can perform some tasks or some playbooks I can execute on those group of servers. I can categorize. So if you see, already in host inventory, they have given the guidelines. Everything is commented. Everything is commented. They have given the guidelines here. Everything is commented. So they have given the guidelines. Comment should begin with hash character. So in the host inventory, if I want to comment something, what I have to use? Comment should begin with hash character. If you see, is this already commented? Whatever you see here, except these 4 lines, is everything is commented here? Comment should begin with hash character. So most of the lines are commented, guidelines. Blank lines are ignored. If I have some blank line like this, is it going to cause any error if I have some blank lines like this? Blank lines are ignored. There won't be any problem. Blank lines. Now, group of hosts are delimited by this element, header elements, which means how can I group the servers? I can use this square bracket. I can use this square bracket, something like this. They have given example also, something like this, right? So whatever servers under this categorized into this group, whatever servers under this is categorized into this group, we can use this header element to group. In host inventory, you can enter host names or IP address. You can use host names or IP address. As of now, what I am using? the IP address. If you have host names, you can use host names also. And one IP or host, can it be a part of multiple groups? Suppose one server you are using for multiple purposes, can it be part of multiple groups? Yes. Now, I want to categorize these servers. Now, can I group those servers in my host inventory? Something like this. Let me edit that host inventory. Can I say this server? Something like this. App server or Tomcat server, whatever, for what purpose you are using. This one, I can say something like this, for whatever purpose you are using. Something like this. This one, I can say something like this, Docker servers, something like this. I can do something like this, grouping. Now I can group like this. Now I have some server which doesn't belongs to any group. This is also sometimes in the interview they'll ask. I have some server which doesn't belongs to any group, which means it is not app server, it is not DB server, it is not Docker server. Where can I define that server in my host inventory? Where can I define that server in the host inventory? Suppose this server doesn't belongs to any group. Where can I define this server in my host inventory? If I define like this, if I define like this, if I define like this, I have a space. Will it also be part of this group? Because blank lines are ignored if I define at the bottom. So this will be considered as part of this one. I cannot define like this. So where they have already given the guidelines, ungrouped host, specify before any group header starts. If I have some server which doesn't belong to any group, I need to define before any group header starts, which means I need to define here, which means I need to define here. This is also sometimes in the interview they'll ask. Is everyone clear? What is host inventory? How to list the servers? How to group the servers? Here. Now, I want to do something only in this group of servers, not all the servers. Whether you want to execute some command or whether you want to execute a playbook, can I use this? Something like this. Instead of all, now can I use like this? Instead of all, can I use like this? Yes, I can do this. So this is case sensitive. Suppose I am saying small s, I am using small s, Docker servers. Let me execute. Let me save this. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? What you can understand? We will not read messages. We will not understand error message. We will directly post. We are getting this issue. First, read the message, guys. Read what that is trying to say. Then you can fix the problem. First, try to understand the errors. Try to read the errors. Then you can easily fix. So what it is saying? Could not match supplied host pattern. Ignoring this. No host match, nothing to do. What problem? Because we don't have any hosts with this group in our host inventory. Because we have a Docker servers, but S is capital, case sensitive. Now I am using like this Docker servers. If you see, is that command executed in all the servers? No, or it has executed in only the servers which is under this group? Only which is under this group. Now this server, this command got executed, it is listing the file system details. This server, the file system details, right? Now Suppose I'm trying to use another app servers. App servers. Is it executing this one only under that group of servers now? How many servers are part of under this group as of now? As of now in my host inventory, only one. Now if I want to perform in all the servers, can I use like this? All? Yes. Not only in the command, suppose you are using a playbook. You are using a playbook. Can I use like this? Hosts all. If I want to perform everything in all the servers, I can use something like this. If I want to perform some task, I can do same thing whatever I am doing using command, I can do with playbook also. Something like this. Something like this. Some module. Now, if I want to perform these tasks in all the servers, I can say all. But if I don't want to perform these tasks in all the servers, can I use something like this? Whatever group I have defined in host inventory, something like this. I can do this way. So we can list the servers, we can group the servers in the host inventory. What is the default host inventory? Which path? etc/ansible/host. Can I have an inventory at a different location? Custom inventory. Custom inventory. Custom inventory in the sense the inventory which is in a different path. So if I have an inventory in a different path, how can I mention? How can I mention or how can I inform Ansible to use that inventory instead of default inventory while executing a command or playbook? If you want to permanently change, if you want to permanently update, you can update in ansible.cfg file. I have given the document also. Not sure how many of you opened this. Right here I have explained. Now, if I want to have a Ansible host file in another location, different in location, custom inventory, you can export this environment variable to that path. You can use this option. So which means you are changing that default path to custom path by updating this environment variable. Or in the Ansible CFG file also you can update. I don't want to update it permanently. I want to use for time being. In that case, while executing a command or while executing a playbook, what option I can use? I can use -i, -i, basically -i in the short form. In the full form, -inventory file, that inventory file path. If I don't want to permanently update in the Ansible CFG file, for time being, I want to point to the different inventory. So can I use this option, -i option or -inventory file, that path of the inventory file where you have. That can be a static inventory file, that can be a dynamic inventory file. Okay. Is everyone clear what is custom inventory? Custom inventory is nothing but the inventory which is in a different path, which is in a different path. The inventory file which is in a different path, I can use -i option. Now I am not mentioning that -i. So which path, where exactly this Ansible is looking for that inventory file? I am not using that -i option. Where exactly it is looking? Which inventory file it is taking? The default one. The default one. Right. Now some ad hoc commands. I already explained shell module, command module. What is the difference between shell module and command module? We already discussed, right? So command module will not be processed through the shell. If you have some variables, if you have some operators, it will not work. Like a grep symbol, shell can work for that case. So if you see any command, whatever command, suppose I am doing like this, shell command, a shell module or command module, shell -a stands for arguments, something like this. Is this command is getting executed in all the servers, and am I getting the output like this in this server, any command, something like this, right? I can execute some commands. So service, let's say SSHD status. I want to see the status of SSHD service in all the servers. Now, am I able to see whether that SSHD service is running or not in all the servers, right? You can execute some command and check that. But if you see this, it is giving one warning. What it is trying to say here? By looking at this, it is just giving a warning, not error. What it is saying? Consider using the service module rather than running a service command. There is a separate module available for that. There is a separate module available to handle the services. If you want to stop the service, if you want to start the service, there is a separate module. So they are saying use that module instead of this module. They're just giving a warning. Okay. Now, if you observe, is shell module and command module, is it idempotent? Is idempotent this shell module and command module? If you observe, when I'm doing something using this shell module or command module, is it idempotent? No, it's not idempotent. Because do you see each time that is command? That is command. It doesn't know whether it is already executed or whether it is executed, whether need to be executed, it doesn't know. If you see, that is just a command, right? So do you see, is that command is getting executed every time? How many number of times you are running, that is getting executed? Just to give an example, let's say I want to I want to start this SSHD. Even though it is started already, is it going to start again? I mean to say, is this command is going to be executed again? Even though this is already started, it is again going to be executed because this is shell module. So which means this is going to be executed a number of times. Now it will not work because of some reason. What is the reason? I will get an error after some time, because as a normal user, it is trying to execute that command. Do you see we are getting some error? It is not able to execute. That is because as a normal user, if I want to do the privilege escalation, what option I can use? Privilege escalation -B. Now if you see, it is saying started. Again, if I execute, do you see again it is saying, is that start command is executed a number of times whenever I am executing? Because that is a shell module. It is executing the commands. So n number of times this will be executed. But instead of this one, they're saying use service module to manage the services. So I have a module called service -a, service name, right? -a stands for arguments. This is one argument for service module. Name, service name, SSHD, state, started. Here we have to use started, stopped, restarted. I am using this option started. If you see, since it is already started, since it is already started, is any changes happen? Is there any changes happen? If you see the changed flag, what is the changed flag value here? Is it changed? No, nothing is changed because this is already started. This is already started. So how to get the args of that module? How to get args and values of that module? If you want to see more details about module and its arguments, Ansible, doc, that module, service module. What is the use of this service module? What are the arguments? I use one argument called name. So what we need to pass for this argument? Name of the service, right? Like this, we have a lot of other arguments. Like I use one more argument called state. So what are the values it is going to take? Started and stop or idempotent action. These started or stopped are idempotent actions that will not run the commands unless necessary. So restarted. If I want to restart that service, what state I can use? Restarted or reloaded, right? So these are the arguments. If you want to use in a playbook, you can use like this: module name, name of the service, state. But in the command, how I am using? Am I using like this? Name of the service is this, state, started. If I want to restart, restarted will execute all the time because you want to restart. Restarted, right? So it is going to restart. Again, if I execute this state, again, is it going to restart? Yes, it is going to restart. So we have a modules like this. We can use that modules to execute some commands. Or we can use these modules in the playbooks. Also. Now, if you see some examples I have given, but if I am trying to use these kind of things, will I able to use with command module some operators? No. Okay. So we can use the modules. Now let's come to the some other modules, right? We have a module called yum. We have a module called copy. We have a module called service, like this. Now what is this yum module? Using yum module, what we can do? This is one module. We can install, upgrade, remove packages using yum package manager. Right? I can install some software using package managers. Suppose I want to install Git software in all the servers. Can I use like this? Ansible all privilege escalation -b -m module -a. Now argument name, the package name, git state. Here it will be present. We have latest. We have absent. If I say absent, what it does? Using this module, this is my package name, state as absent. What it does? It is going to remove that package. I can use present. Present in the sense it is going to install present package. The present package, the current version of the package. Suppose if I use latest, what it does basically, first it will check whether this software is there or not. If it is already there, it will try to upgrade with current version, the latest version. So these are the options. So how to know? how to know what are the attributes for this argument? This is not a command. This is not a command. I am not using something like this. I am not doing something like this. I am not using something like this. I am not doing this way. So this is one separate module, M module. We can install the packages using M module, something like this. And what is the default value if I don't pass the state? How to know all those things? Will I able to check using this Ansible doc option, that module if I want to know more details? Or can I go to the official website of Ansible here, Ansible M module? I can go to this module and understand what is this module all about, right? What are the parameters, that arguments? What are the default values for those arguments? If you see, name, the package name which you want to install, the state, what is the default value, right? The default value will be present, right? So you can see all those things here. Now, if I have the mixed servers, I mean to say I have a Red Hat servers, I have a Debian servers, Ubuntu servers. Does this module works for Debian or Ubuntu? No. In that case, what module we have? In that case, what module we have? APT module. So in your inventory, can you categorize the servers into groups based on the OS or based on the whatever purpose, right? Based on the OS also you can categorize in your host inventory. Or there are conditions. I will come to that. We can use conditions while executing a playbooks. We can use conditions. Conditions in the sense, if the underlying operating system is Red Hat, then only execute this task. If the underlying operating system is Ubuntu, then only execute this task. We can use conditions also. I'll come to that later. But if I have some other servers, Red Hat, except Red Hat, CentOS and other, can I use APT module for Debian, Ubuntu servers? APT module for Debian, Ubuntu. We have one more module called APT. For Windows, what is the package manager? If you want to install in Windows, for Windows there is a module called Chocolatey. WinRM is just a connection plugin, guys. It is just a connection, SSH. The way we are SSHing, it will use WinRM to connect to the Windows machine. So for Windows, you have a Chocolatey package manager. And also one more thing. All Windows modules are going to start with Win underscore. All Windows modules are going to start with Win underscore. So all your Windows modules are going to start with Win underscore. If you see, we have very less modules for Windows. We don't have a lot of modules for Windows because Windows are very less percentages of people will use Windows servers in production, right? If you see, if I want to install packages in Windows Manager, right? There is a module called Chocolatey. This is also we can use. There is a module called Chocolatey, Win Chocolatey, something is there here. Chocolatey. Package manager for Windows, right? If I want to create any users in Windows, which module? Windows users in the Windows server. Which module? There is a module for that, Win underscore. Like this, you have some modules for Windows. Okay. Now, APT module for Red Hat, for Debian and Ubuntu based systems. Now there is a recently Ansible has introduced one more module. Ansible has introduced one more module called package module. What is this package module? We have a one more module called package. Sometimes in the interview they are going to ask this way: irrespective of the underlying operating system, I want to install packages with respect to package managers. What module we can use in Ansible? Irrespective whether underlying OS is Debian, Ubuntu, or Red Hat CentOS, any Linux, I want to install packages using underlying package manager. So in that case, we can use package module. So package module we have in Ansible. What we can do using this package module, if you see, what we can do using that package module, if you see, it will install, upgrade, remove packages using the underlying package manager. Suppose the underlying machine is Red Hat. Is this package module is going to work with that yum package manager to install and remove packages? Yes. But if the underlying system is Ubuntu Debian, in that case, is it going to work with apt package manager to install? Yes. So irrespective of the underlying package manager operating system, if I want to manage software packages using Ansible, can I go for this package module? Yes, we can do this, right? Something like that. So the arguments, options, we have like this. Now, for Windows, it is completely different. For Windows, it is completely different. Distribution, guys. Distro is nothing but a distribution. What distribution? Distribution. Those are short forms, that's it. Now, let's say one simple use case. Now I want to install Git in app servers. Can I do that using these package managers? If you have a package managers enabled in those servers, I can say Ansible app servers -m module. I can use M module because if this is a Red Hat server or CentOS server or Amazon Linux, can I use M module to install packages in the Red Hat systems? I can use. Or can I do like this? Package module also if required. I can use package module also if required. -a name. What package? Git package. State, whatever. Now we will get a issue, permissions issue. As a normal user, does it able to install packages? What it is saying? This command has to be run as root user, privilege escalation. Now I have -b. But is this correct, guys? Can I do like this? The options in between -a, -b. Is this correct? No. But I can give here. It is not going to cause any issue. Or I can give here also. Right? Something like that. -b, privilege escalation. So it is going to install git. Now changed true results. Git is depends on some other packages. If you observe, along with git, did it install other dependent packages also for git? Perl, because git is written in Perl language, that Perl related all those stuff has been installed. Now if I try to execute one more time in this group of servers, since it is already installed, is it going to reinstall anything? So it is not going to install. So again, but if I have any new server added to that group, in that server, if there is no git, if I try to execute this one again, it will install. Okay. So based on whether it is already installed or not, based on that we can do that. Okay. So it is idempotent, which means if I execute this configuration n number of time, if there are no changes in the configuration, if that is already done in your server, is it going to make any changes? If you see, no. Now if you see git is installed, now if I want to verify whether git is installed or not, right, you can execute like this, or can I use shell module or command module to execute the command and get the output? Shell module or command module like this, git hyphen version or hyphen version, whatever it is, hyphen I think. Now you can do whatever you want to do, rpm, qa, get, all those stuff, whatever. If you see, git 2.270 is installed. Now if I want to uninstall, then I can use again state absent or whatever it is. If I want to do this configuration in hundreds of servers, is it difficult for us? If I am, Sampath is asking, sometimes you use hyphen, sometimes double hyphen. You just get the help command, Sampath. You no need to bother about those small things, right? If you just go to the git and help command, you will see what are the options you have. Those are very small things. You no need to remember all those things. There are a lot of other tasks to do. So you can get the help command, git help command, so that it will give what options you have for the git. Now let's say I want to do the configuration in hundreds of servers. I want to do the configurations in hundreds of commands. If I have under this app servers, if I have hundreds of servers, does Ansible will connect to all those servers and do this configuration? That configuration can be anything, as I told. That can be installing software, upgrading software, removing software, creating user, copying files, any configuration. It will make the life easy for us to do the configurations as a code. Now let's take one use case now. Let's start with one small use case. In real time, there is no real time. Everything is a use case, everything is a requirement. Real time is nothing but the requirement, the use case. In real time, there is no real time. Actually, it's a use case or requirement. We have some requirement. We have to implement that requirement. We have to automate or implement that requirement. That is what we do in the real time. Let me start with small use case. I have a use case like this. Use case is nothing but requirement. Now my requirement is, let's start very small. I want to install HTTPD software. I want to copy index.html. Let's say static HTML, static application. Then I want to start that HTTPD process, basically service. This is my requirement in app servers. In app servers. In app servers. This is my requirement. So three tasks, three different tasks. Now, if I want to do this in my app server, can I do using the respective package manager like this? Ansible all -m module -a name of the package HTTPD, state of the package present or latest, whatever, -b. Will I able to do this by executing this one? It will install. Now I want to copy some files. I want to copy some files. What module I can use if I want to copy files? Can I use copy module? Copy module. So like this. Module is copy. Arguments will be vary. It will vary. Source file, index.html, destination, where you want to copy. So where you want to copy in the destination, right? Suppose if it is HTTPD, right? It will be under where lib www something. I don't remember all those things where exactly. I think it will be where lib or where www, where www HTML, right? So where I will copy where www HTML. In case of Nginx, it will be different. In case of Nginx, it will be user share HTML, something like this. Here, I want to copy this file. And also, is it possible for us to change the owner, group, mode to the file while copying? Is it possible for us to change the mode or owner, group? We have that option also in copy module. In copy module, we have those options also. Not only these two, source, not only these two, we have a lot of other arguments, options. Like I can set the mode, something like this. Mode I can set, or I can set owner, group for that file or that folder, whatever it is, right? Like this. Now, if you want to set, you can use all those options. Again, how can I see more options, more attributes of that module, right? Copy module. Ansible doc you can use, or you can use this official website, copy module. What we can do using copy module? If you see copy module, copy files from local machine to the remote machine or remote machine to the remote machine. What does it mean? Copy module copy files from local machine to the remote machine, or remote to remote itself. What is the meaning of local here? What is local here? What is the meaning of local here? Now this is my Ansible machine. I have my host machines. I have some host machines, right? So using copy module, we can copy files. We can copy files from local machine to the host machines. What is the meaning of local here? Local is nothing but this Ansible server. Ansible server. Local machine to the remote machines. Suppose something like this. Ansible, whatever. If it is all servers, you can use all, or if it is specific servers, you can use that server. -m copy module -a. You have a source index.html. I'm just giving the file name. Destination, that where www html here. So in this case, if I do like this, the file should be in which machine? If I do like this, the file, the source file, this should be part of your Ansible machine. So since I have not given the complete path of the source, so when I'm executing this command, is this index file will be expected in the current directory in which I am executing this command in this machine? It is going to expect that index.html file in the current directory where I am executing this command. Suppose this file is in different path. Can I give that full path? Suppose this file is in this temp folder. I can give the full path also if required. So like this. So when I do like this, this file will be copied to this machine, your app servers. Which directory? This directory. But if this directory doesn't exist, does this copy module will create a directory, guys? That is also sometimes in the interview they will ask. If this directory doesn't exist, does copy module will create a directory? No, it will not create the directory. The directory should be already existed. So when I am doing this one, when I am executing this HTTPD installation, that directory will be created. This directory is created. Okay. So you don't need to manually create. But if I really want to create a directory also, is it possible for me to create a directory also using Ansible? Yes. For that there is a module. Called file. There is one more module called file module. So using file module, we can manage the files and folders. So we have a file module. So we can use this file module to manage files, directories, all those stuff. We can use file module to set system links. We can create a directories. We can manage the files using this module. If you see, there are some examples here. Now, if I give like this, file module, path is this, state is directory. So what it does, if I use file module with this path as this and state as directory, what it does, if you see, it will create a directory if it is not existed. If I want to remove the directories also from Ansible, using Ansible, will I able to remove the directories recursively? Yes. You can see path is that, the directory path, state is absent, which means, is it going to remove this this directory recursively if I do like this? Yes. And if I want to change the ownership of the directory, directory is already there. Can I change the owner and group? So you can use these modules, right? If you want to really do. Now, I can copy like this using copy module from local machine to remote machine, host machine. Now, is it possible for me to copy within this host from one folder to another folder? This is like SCP. This option, whatever I am doing here, right? This option is like SCP. This option is like SCP. So the source file is getting copied to the destination like SCP. Now, my question here is, I have a file within this machine. I have a file within this machine in one folder. Let's say this file is as of now in /home/Ansible folder. Now I want to copy this file to the different folder, maybe some other folder, something like this, or some other, any other folder. Now how can I do that? So in the same machine, like a SCP, yeah, like a CP, like CP within this machine, CP, I want to do this. So in this case, there is one option here. There is one more option, remote source. Remote source equals to yes. What is the meaning of remote source? There is a one more option called remote source. What is the meaning of remote source? So in that case, this source file will be expected in which machine? In this machine only. In this machine only, in the host machine. If I use this remote source option, if I use that remote source option, you have a one option here, remote source. Yes. What is the default value of this remote source? What is the default value? No. So in that case, the file will be expected here. But if I say remote source as yes, in that case, from within this machine, it will copy to same machine. Like a CP, like a CP. If this is not there, remote source is not there, then what is like? That will be like SCP. Now, since we are discussing this point, let me ask one question now. Again, same thing, source, right? This is not getting changed. The source and destination is not getting changed, right? So if I have to mention this source, suppose source is in in this server, you can update that source where exactly we have, right? Within this server. The source and destination attributes are not matching, are not changing, just you are changing that remote source. Now one question here, sometimes in the interview also they are asking, I have a file in this machine, I have a file in this machine, and I want to copy that file to this machine using Ansible. Source is in this machine, I want to copy to this destination. How can I do that? And that file is not there here. That file is not there here. Using Ansible, I want to do that. You can perform this one using two tasks. You can perform this activity using two tasks. One is, first, you can fetch this file. You can fetch this file from this host machine to Ansible machine. You can fetch this file from host machine to Ansible machine. So what is the module which I can use to fetch? If you see, use fetch module to copy files from remote locations to the local box. There is a module for that, fetch, to get the files from remote location to the local box. Local box is nothing but what? Local box is nothing but your Ansible server. I can use this module, fetch module. This module works like copy, but in which order? This fetch module works like a copy only, but in reverse. In reverse. So it is used to fetch files from remote machine to the local machine. Files that already exist in a destination will be overwritten. If you already have the file in your Ansible machine, it will be overwritten, right? So here, this is how I can use source, fetch module, source. This source is nothing but the file in this machine. Where do you have that file? Source. The destination in this server, in which folder you want to copy. In this server, which folder you want to copy, to which folder you want to fetch. So when I am using fetch module, this is source, this is destination. This is source, this is destination. I can use this fetch module, something like this. Ansible. I don't want to execute this on all the servers because I have file in this server. Can I use that file, that server name directly instead of group name, the host name? The host name, this server, this is the server IP, let's say 172.31.12. Something like this. So can I use Ansible instead of group name all? I can execute -b -m fetch module -a source destination. This destination is nothing but in which folder you want to copy. Suppose I want to copy this file to the Ansible user home directory. Can I give something like this? Ansible /home/Ansible user home directory. Now this file is somewhere else, right? So this file is somewhere else, right? So I can use that options here like this: source, destination. But one more important thing here is this flat attribute, flat s. If I don't use this flat s option, how it will copy in the destination, right? It will copy in the destination different way. So if I don't use that flat option, it will copy in different way. It will copy like this. So let me show that. So source, let's say source is this slash home slash something. This is the source I have in this server. In this server, this is my file, this file. Now when I don't use that flat option, how it will be copied, right? Even though this is the destination, it will create something like this. It will create a folder within this server IP. This server IP. Within that, again, you see this file. You see something like this. Again, this complete path. This one, this destination path. Sorry, this source path. Okay, this source path. It will be taken like this if you don't use that flat option. So it will copy the file this way in this system, in this destination. It will create a folder with that IP address. Then again, the folder like home EC2 this way. But I don't want to have like this. I want to directly fetch to this directory. In that case, what option I can use? I want to fetch to this directory. Then what option I can use? There is one more option called flat s. So this way, how it will fetch? It will be fetched like this. It will be fetched like this. Can I fetch the folders using? Can I fetch the folders using fetch module again? No. We cannot fetch the folders. You cannot copy the folders. only files. Okay, so if I use this option, you will get like this. Once I fetch like this, can I use one more task to copy to this one? One more task to copy. Suppose this is my app server or any other server. Can I use this copy module now? Copy module. Now source is this. Here I have copied destination, wherever you want to copy, to this server. Can I use copy module? Once I fetch the file from here to here, again using copy module, will I able to copy the file to this server or group of servers? We are fetching the file, then we are copying the file. This way, will I able to perform the file which is there in remote server? I can copy to another remote server by fetching the file from here to here, then here. This way we can do this. Last time in one of the interview they asked this question: how can I copy files from remote machine to another remote machine using Ansible? The file is not there in Ansible machine. What is the answer, guys? Will I able to use these tasks? Two tasks. One is fetching the file using fetch module. The next, once you fetch the file, will I able to copy that file using copy module? You can do this. Okay. But now my requirement is I just want to copy the file. So the file, this file is expected in which machine already? This file is already expected in your Ansible machine. So this is already expected in Ansible machine. Okay. Now this is how we can do in Ansible. Copy module. Now I want to start HTTPD process. I want to do HTTPD process. I want to start. What module I can use if I want to manage services? Service module. I don't want to do this in all the servers. I'll just do in app servers. Now I can do something like this. -m service module -a arguments, name HTTPD, state started. Now can I do this? Can I execute these configurations in this order? Will it work? Without installing that HTTPD software, without having that HTTPD software, if you try to start this one, will it work? No. The configuration should be done in a proper order, right? So this way I can do this. I can perform using commands also. It will work. But why this approach is not suggestible? Why we need to write the tasks in the form of playbooks, in the form of YMLs? Same task I will define in a YML. Why? Do I need to execute lot of commands if I am directly using a commands? If I am directly using a commands, do I need to execute lot of commands like this? If I am directly using a commands, I need to execute lot of commands. Now I have lot of tasks. I have to perform lot of other configurations. Do I need to make sure I am executing all these commands one after the other in a proper order? If I'm using directly commands, yes. Instead of doing this way, can I have it as a playbook? In the single playbook, I can define multiple tasks, and also if I'm writing a playbook, will I able to maintain that playbook as a code configuration as a code in the version control system? Will I able to maintain those playbooks in the version control system so that I can track what tasks, what configurations we are doing? I can maintain in a version control system so that I can track who is modifying my playbook, what tasks I was having in the previous. Now is any changes happened to my playbook, my configurations? Can I maintain that playbook as a source code in the version control systems so that I can track what changes is happening to my configurations code, my configuration script, that playbooks? Yes. So that is why it is recommended to go with playbook. Now, this also works without any issues. This also works without any issues, but this is not the way we are going to do. If you want to perform multiple tasks, multiple configurations, multiple tasks, how can I define all those tasks? Can I define those tasks in the form of playbook in a YML file? Yes. Again, in the playbook also, what you are going to use? You are going to use same thing. You are going to use modules, appropriate arguments against set of hosts, right? So first let me show that manually. Then I will show how to write a playbook for this, right? I want to do it in this server, app server. We already categorized our inventory into groups, right? If you see, do we already categorized that inventory into groups, right? I have a group app servers, DB servers, like this. Now I want to install that HTTPD in this group of servers. Whether I have one server, 10 servers, that doesn't matter for Ansible. As of now, I have only one server. The configuration will be done in only this server now. Now, but before doing this, let me show 168, this server, the second server, I think, this one, right? If you see, as of now, is anything running on port 8080, port 80 HTTPD web server? Let me open that port in AWS security group. This is AWS concept. I'm opening port 80, that HTTPD port, web server port. If you see, as of now, is anything running on this port 8080? Port 80 in this server? If you see, let me take this. Is anything running on port 80? The default port. Even though I don't mention any port here, on which port request goes, guys? You already know what is the default ports and all. On which port request is going to this server? Port 80 HTTP, right? Do we have anything running in this server as of now? No. Now I want to configure HTTPD in this server using Ansible. In this server or group of servers, that doesn't matter. Will I able to do using Ansible? I want to configure HTTPD in this server using Ansible. We can do that. Like this. App servers. I'm installing HTTPD. App servers. There is a typo. There is error. App servers. Okay. Now, -B, privilege escalation. So HTTPD is getting installed in whatever servers under this group. As of now, how many servers are there under that group? As of now, only one. It is executed. Changed is true. It has installed. If I execute one more time, is it going to make any changes in that server? No. Now I will copy the index.html file. I will get a error. If I don't use -B as a normal user, will it able, does normal user will have a permissions to write anything in this? Where? No. So I will use -B. But I will get one more error. What is that error? You tell me. What is that error? What it is trying to say? I don't know, sir. You have to tell me what is that error. I don't have a patience to read the message also. What it is trying to say? Could not find or access index.html. It is searching for source. It is looking for source, in which it is looking in the current directory, /home/Ansible, or in the current directory. Again, it is looking in one more folder, files folder, in this machine. Do I have that file index.html in the current directory in which I am executing this command? Local machine? No. So that's why it is saying. Now let me create one file index.html in this machine. Now I have a index.html in the current folder. So even though I am not mentioning full path, I am executing this command in the same directory. So current directory it will look, right? Is it going to copy the file now? Do you see? Is it copied, changed true? It is copied to this machine, to this destination. Without changing anything, your file is not modified. If I execute one more time, is it going to copy again? Because there is no change in the source. Source file is not modified. Nothing got updated in the source file. Is it copied again if I execute one more time? No. Now I installed HTTPD. I copied my index.html. But am I able to reach what is still not there? The process, the HTTPD service is not started. So for that, can I do like this? Service module. There is again typo. Started. Okay. Something like this. Something like this. Now this time, your HTTPD service is started. Since I'm using just started, if I execute one more time, is it going to again start? Since I'm just using started? No. Now, do you see? Is my static website is up and running now in my HTTPD web server? We can do this way. But if you see, I'm doing using commands. But instead of doing this way, can I write in the form of playbooks? Can I write in the form of playbooks? Playbook. Playbook is contains set of plays. Each play will contain set of tasks. Playbook. We can have multiple plays or play in playbook. Each play will have a set of tasks. Play. What it is going to play? It is going to play the tasks. It is going to play the task. Play. What it is going to do? Each play will have a set of tasks. Ansible will play the tasks against hosts, right? So it will be something like this. Hosts, app servers. This is one play. This is one play. Here what we can define? We can have a tasks. Tasks. Name of the task. You can give whatever module, what module you are trying to use for the task, and parameters, argument and its value for that arguments or for the parameters, right? Something like this. This is one play. Each play can have a set of tasks. I can have multiple tasks. I can have multiple tasks, right? Another task like this. Another task like this. This is one play. So all these tasks will be executed against which hosts? On this host. Now within Playbook, I can have another play also. Another play also. Another play in the sense, again, hosts, DB servers, tasks. So whatever tasks I define under this play, whatever task I define under this play, so these tasks will be executed against which hosts? Suppose I have one task only. This task will be executed against which host? This will be executed against these machines. So Playbook, in Playbook, we can have a multiple plays. What is play? This is one play. This is another play. This is another play. Each play can have again set of tasks. Those tasks will be executed against set of plays. So I can write this one like this. I can write like this: hosts, app servers, tasks, name of the task. I can say install httpd. Same module, right? You are using this way. I can use this module, m module, name of the package, httpd, state of the package, present. This is one task. Now similarly, another task. Can I have another task which can copy my file, copy index.html, which module? Same module, copy module, source, destination, whatever options you are using, in the form of YML. Source is this. When you are using YML, it is like this. Destination is this. Destination is this. Then another task. Another task. Now start HTTPD service. Start HTTPD service. Service module, name HTTPD, state started. Now if I want to do the privilege escalation in the Playbook itself, I can use one option, become true. So all these tasks will be executed as a privileged user. Privileged user. I can do this in the Playbook itself like this. If I don't use this option here, while executing a Playbook, what I can do? I can use this -b option, right? So this way, can I perform multiple tasks against hosts by defining all my tasks in a Playbook? Can I maintain this as a source code, configurations as a code in my version control system if I use a Playbooks? Yes. Now let me take this. So I don't have a Playbook. What is the extension of that file? It can be YML, it can be YML, or it can be YAML. Both are same. It can be YML or it can be YAML. Both are same. Here I can define all those things. But you should follow some indentation, guys. I will explain that tomorrow. So how to write playbooks, what is YML, I will explain tomorrow. But I'm just showing how can we use Playbook. I will explain tomorrow what is YML, how to write YMLs, what is the meaning of this one in YML, right? We will discuss tomorrow. Just I'm making sure that it works now. Now this is my playbook. Now I don't want to execute all those commands. Single playbook. What command I can execute? How I can execute a playbook? I think, okay, here, right? So how can I execute this playbook? Ansible hyphen playbook. Ansible hyphen playbook. Now I want to execute a playbook. This is my playbook. This is my playbook. Does this playbook has tasks and against which host it has to run? Yes. Now I may get that error. This command has to be run as a root user. Privilege escalation. I can do it in a playbook itself, or I can use -b. Now I am going to get okay, okay, okay. Why I am getting okay, okay, okay? All the tasks I am getting okay, okay, okay. Why I am getting? Because it is already executed. Now let me update something in my file. Let me update something in my file. Welcome to Ansible from Mithun Tech Technologies, Bengaluru. Okay, something like this. Now I'm executing a playbook. I'm executing a playbook. Now if you see install httpd, I'm getting okay. But copy index.xml, HTML, it is changed because that file got modified. Start httpd, it is already started. So that's why it is not changed. Now this way, will I able to do the configurations using Ansible? Right? We can do this. So try to practice whatever we discussed. I'll continue tomorrow. Okay. So what is that summary? This summary. What is this summary? How many tasks has been executed? How many has been changed? How many has been failed? How many has been non-reachable when it is executing? So changed it is showing 4. Changed is 1. Total 4. There is no task failed. There are no tasks which are not reachable. Is there any task which is ignored? Nothing. The summary of the task, whatever has been done. So try to practice whatever has been done today. Try to explore about the commands and all those options. I'll tomorrow start with playbooks. What is YML? How to write a playbooks, right? We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you guys. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.